All right, all right. Hello, hello. We had some confusion with the Zoom link this morning, so we are getting that corrected and waiting for folks to get the email update. So hold tight, hold tight. We'll probably be starting around 11:15. Probably be starting around 11:15. We are waiting for this email to be sent out. We had some issues with the Zoom link this morning, so we're holding tight on that. Let me go check. Hey, I had some issues with the Zoom link this morning, so we are waiting, giving people a chance to get the new email. Hmm, dang. Hello, hello. All right, email is going out. Apologies, family. We had some issues with the Zoom link this morning, so we got people coming on in, coming on in a little bit late, so we're a little bit behind schedule. The wrong Zoom link went out, so forgive me for that. Glad people are coming through. Right. All right. Looks like the email went out and we are good to go now. Admit. All right. So we're gonna probably have a 11:15 start. So if you need to go make some tea, need to make some tea, go to the restroom real quick. We'll get started here. Just want to give people a chance to come in. We are breaking out by gender today for brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scripture. So apologies for the miscommunication um, this morning. So, wait one moment. Welcome, welcome everybody. We had some confusion with the Zoom link, and so we are waiting for everybody to get the email. We're going to start at 11:15. We'll be breaking out into Sisters in the Scriptures and Brothers in the Bible today. And so thank you for your patience and understanding um, in regards to that. All right. It started at 11:15. 11:15. All right. Try this. Welcome, welcome everybody. Apologies for the delay. We started at 11:15. Wrong Zoom link went out this morning, so just trying to gather everybody. So thank you for your patience. We started at 11:15. Thank you for your patience. Wrong Zoom link went out this morning. What is going on? That's still saying you are all here, so I don't know why that's still saying that. We'll be starting at 11:15. We're just trying to get something fixed right now. Wrong Zoom link went out. And so we're just trying to gather everybody right now. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. We're starting at 11:15. Ah, almost there, family. Good. I think people are coming now. All right. Gathering the troops. Apologies. 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 The wrong Zoom link went out this morning, so we're going to be starting at 11:15. Just trying to gather folks right now. Sent out an email. Whoever is here, and we will go forth. All right, folks are still coming on in. Thank you for your patience, everybody. We're going to get started in just a minute, in literally a minute. Wrong Zoom link went out this morning. And so we're just gathering folks back. Sent out a follow-up email. Hopefully people get it and find their way here. We're going to be breaking out into brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures today. So ladies, I will give you a new link to jump to in just a second as after we open up. All right. So here we go. We're about to get started. Uh, all right. Thank you for your patience. All right. In 15 seconds. Man. Mistake, mistake, mistake. It's okay. All right. Beautiful. Here we go. All right. How many brothers do we have here today? How many brothers do we have here today? How many brothers in the building? Where my brothers at? I see Ator. I see Sammy. Where my brothers at? It might just be three of us. Nah, it'll be more of us. Brothers in the building. Ladies showing up. Ladies showing up and showing out as they always do. All right, cool. Carl's here. All right, cool. I think we are good now. I think we're good now. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Um, Thank you all for your patience this morning. The wrong Zoom link went out, and we are just gathering our flock, but our flock of leaders. We don't see flock in a hierarchical way here. So with that, let's get started and just pray that the right people show up who are meant to be here today. All right. Um, Welcome everybody to the spiritual experience. Thank you for being here for our fourth Sundays. Our fourth Sundays are special because we actually are doing gender studies, meaning that we are breaking out into brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures to really explore deeper what it means to be a man of God and what it means to be a woman of God. But before we get into those specific groups, we are going to open up together in prayer. And then we'll do some quick announcements. And then, ladies, I have another Zoom link for you to jump over to go be with Whitney as you will be studying Eve and what we can learn from the lesson around Eve today. And brothers, we will be exploring Proverbs 31. So with that, let me share my screen real quick. Let me share my screen real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Apologies for the confusion this morning. Zoom links got mixed up as you know we uh, shift to brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make it one Zoom link. We all come here and then we will disperse out on a weekly basis based on the particular teaching. So given that we have two Zoom rooms that we'll be having running simultaneously today, there was some confusion. And so, but I'm glad that you are here now. All right. So can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my screen? We good to go? All right. So again, welcome to the spiritual experience, and we are excited to have you here today. We are breaking out by gender, and we are going into the brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. But before we do that, we are gathering together to do our meditation, our prayer, some quick announcements, and then we will go forward from there. And so, the way we like to step into meditation is so that we can hear God. Meditation is so that we can hear God, and then our prayer is how we speak to God. So we're going to go into meditation first and foremost. Then we're going to make our specific request to God to help us get the divine downloads, the revelations, and the insights that we are meant to have today. And then we will break out into our brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. And so the way we do that here in terms of meditation is we we're going to do a 1 minute meditation. Should have probably had you all meditating while we handle these technical difficulties today. But we are going to in heaven for 4, hold for 2, and then we're going to exhale for 4. We're going to do that for a minute. And again, this is just a space for us to call God in, to still and quiet our minds. Even myself, dealing with the technical difficulties this morning, I just want to get into a place of stillness so that I can hear God as we go through today's teachings. Okay. So, with that, let's begin. And if you connect with God in a completely different way, and a meditation is not something that you're interested in, that's perfectly fine. Please spend the next minute doing that. Okay. So, I'm going to begin now. So, we're going to in heaven for 4, fill up your belly, hold for 2, release all the way out. In heaven for 4, slowly, hold for 2, 2, release. Okay. In heaven for 4, hold for 2, release. In heaven for 4, hold, 1, 2, release. 2 more. In heaven for 4. Hold. Release. Last one. In heaven for 4. Hold. Release. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Find your way back into the room, back into your body. We know that when God breathed life into Adam's nostrils, that's when he became a living soul. And so the easiest way for us to reconnect with God is to always go back to our breath. We know that the temple is our body, that we don't need to go anywhere to be in a temple. Yes, we honor fellowship. We love fellowship. We know that whenever 2 or more are gathered, God is present. But the true temple, the first temple, is our body. And so we honor that and recognize that we can always reconnect with God when we go back to the body and go back to the breath. So with that, we actually want to transition into our prayer to call God forth into this space and join us. And so what I would like is I would like somebody to come and actually read the prayer today. So if you are interested in sharing, if you feel moved by spirit to share, please raise your hand. Okay, Sammy, or Sammy's hand is still up, but yeah, we need a brother to read it. So Sammy, I'm gonna have you read the Christ-like prayer, brother.
Christ-like prayer. First of all, good morning, everyone.
Morning, brother.
All right. So we are truth seekers, seeking to become more Christ-like and have the mind of Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 16. As Christ said, if you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8, 31 and 32. We believe that when we ask, it shall be given unto us. When we seek, we shall find. When we knock, the door shall open unto us. Matthew 7 and 7. We know that as we sit in the temple of our minds, listening to your voice and asking questions in that holy place, we shall find understanding and answers. Luke 2, 46 and 47. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Luke 12 and 2. We know that because the Bible is heavily coded in allegories. Galatians 4:24, similes, Luke 13:18, and parables, Matthew 13 and 34. Many who think they are seeing, see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand, including those who call themselves your disciples, Matthew 13 and 13. We know not to rely on the letter, but of the spirit of the word. For the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. 2 Corinthians 3 and 6. We are meant to study to show thyself approved unto God, rightly dividing the word of truth, 2 Timothy 2 and 15. Wash our feet, which represents our understanding, so we may build our church, our temple, which is our individual belief system, upon the rock of truth, that we are the sons and daughters of God, Matthew 16 and 16.
Second, brother. Here we go. Okay, go ahead.
May we feel free to renew our minds, Romans 12:2, by destroying and rebuilding our temples over and over and getting better and better, leaving no stone standing, Matthew 24 and 2. We know that when we pray, we shall enter into the closets of our mind, shut the door, and pray to God, which is in secret, Matthew 6 and 6. And we also know that where 2 and 3 are gathered together in your name, I am is in the midst, Matthew 18 and 20. And that our purpose is to bring the kingdom of heaven on earth, Matthew 6 and 10. We pray this Bible study blesses, builds, and brings all children of God closer to you, whether inside or outside of religious context, even if that means wrestling with our concepts of God for our blessing like Jacob, Genesis 32. We practice these principles because we know we are called to bear good fruit and do even greater things as part of the spiritual lineage, John 14 and 12. We love you and we thank you. with all our hearts, minds, and souls. Matthew 22:37. Let those who have ears hear. Ashe. Amen. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, brother. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Welcome everybody to the spiritual experience. Thank you for your patience this morning. The wrong Zoom link was sent out. I take full responsibility for that, but it seems like we have been able to gather everybody back to one place, and I'm so grateful for technology for allowing us to do that. And this recording will be up on the Spiritual Experience YouTube channel to make up for the fact that I made a mistake this morning, and that is okay. That is part of the journey of life where we are doing our best with the greatest intentions and we missed the mark. And I missed the mark in terms of marketing today. And I forgive myself and I thank you all for forgiving me for that little mix up. Thank you to Brother Sammy for reading the opening prayer today. He and I are building a stronger, stronger relationship and brotherhood. So grateful to have him in my life and just to see him. We saw him at Bible on the Beltline. And so we are starting to build these relationships in real life. And ultimately, we envision a space where Bible studies are happening in cities all across the country. Of people who are involved in the spiritual experience, not only Bible studies, but also, of course, community service. We believe in community service over church service. Yesterday was able to give out hand warmers to the homeless folks here in Atlanta. And so we know that we are called to do the work. And right now, there is a big big faction and division in Christianity. There's a big division in Christianity between what I call Christianity and Paulianity. And Paul's teaching is really focused on grace and that all you have to do is believe, and if you believe, then you are saved. But based on my reading of Yeshua, it is almost diametrically opposed to what Yeshua actually said in the red text. And I think Paul got it 30% right and 70% wrong. And my challenge to all of you who are studying to show thyself approved is to read both the Gospels and Paul's writings for yourself and see what it is that you actually believe. I believe it is a combination of faith and works, but right now the church is heavily indexed on just believe and get baptized and you're good to go. Whatever you did in the past, whatever you do in the future, you were saved. But Yeshua said, whoever does the will of my Father, right? Is my mother, brother, and sister. Thy will be done, right? You will do even greater works than these. And so I do believe that there is a heavy degree of doing, not that we can work our way into heaven, but that there is a responsibility that we have here in this earthly experience in the physical realm to actually do good works, right? And do good works and allow people to see the God in us, not because we're doing the works to be seen, but that they naturally see the God in us. I do want to share with you a story that emerged while giving out the hand warmers yesterday. I don't know if you all remember um, I don't know if you all remember, but after Thanksgiving, it was very cold here in Atlanta as well. So it's been cold for about 2 months, unusually cold. And we, as the spiritual experience, put together, I think, 40 sleeping bag packages with hand warmers, with beanies, with gloves, with water, and we distributed those out to people who were homeless in Atlanta. And during that time, Whitney and I, we actually met a man. I'm gonna keep his name to private, but we met a man who had an amazing story, and what actually sent him on his journey. I don't want to say downward because I believe that it's still up for him, that all things are working together for his good. Is that one day he came home and his family was gone. And to this day, he still does not know why his family is gone, and that sent him on a downward spiral. And we were able to talk to him and have an extended conversation. So the way we're learning to do service here in Atlanta is not just, oh, we just give you stuff, we don't even look you in the eye, we don't know your name, nothing like that. No, because when you get down at their level, when you actually take time to get to know who they are and their story, if they're willing to talk, and most of them are, they feel seen, they feel known, and they will also teach you something. So it's not you think you're there to just pour into them, but what you'll find is that they have a word for you. And after Thanksgiving, we remembered this particular man. And so yesterday I was actually going to meet a friend in the city, and I pull off on the freeway exit, and I see a group of homeless people to the right, and I know I have the hand warmers in the car, and I know it's cold, and so I pull over, and I know it's going to make me a little bit late for my meeting, but Spirit just moved me to do that. And what I'm noticing in the kingdom, you have to understand what's truly valuable. Is it the gold in the temple? Yeshua put it like this: Is it the gold in the temple, or the temple that sanctifies the gold? Is it the altar, or the gift on the? Is it the gift on the altar, or the altar that sanctifies the gift? And so we have to have these value judgments in the kingdom, and typically those value judgments are the opposite of what the world actually perceives. And so Spirit was leading me to say, you know what, be here and do this, and you'll be forgiven for being late, because I'm a man of integrity. So I didn't want to be late to my meeting at the same time. So I get out, and family, guess guess who the first person I see is? Guess who the first person I see is? It's the same man. It's the same man. And he remembers me. I remember him. I call him by first name. We hug, and he was about to do something that he shouldn't have been doing. And I came at that specific moment. I came at that specific moment. And I knew his name. And he was convicted in that moment. And he threw what he had in his hand away. And he celebrated, and we rejoiced. Then he asked me to pray for him. And as I was praying for him and with him, he started speaking in tongues. And he said, "The Spirit is on me. I need to get to the DeKalb Crisis Center." And he said, "Do you have $2 for transportation?" And I don't carry cash like that. And but I said, "Look, I'll go check in my car to see if I have enough coins." And sure enough, I did. I came back. I gave it to him. He said, "The Spirit is on me. The Spirit. I need to go now. I need to go now." And as I was leaving, he was gathering his stuff, and he asked for my phone number. I wrote it on a piece of cardboard, and I'm still waiting. He said he would call when he got there, um, and I'm still waiting on a call. But I know that when I went back yesterday, because I went back again to check to see if he was still there, and he was not. So I say that to say that we are here to actually do good work. When we think about Yeshua's mission statement, his mission statement was to serve the poor. He said, they said, when do we feed you? When do we give you to drink? When do we clothe you? When do we house you? When do we visit you?" And he said, "To whoever you've done the least of these things, you've done it unto me." These are Yeshua's words. This is red text, family. This is red text. And this is what we focus on here at the spiritual experience, is actually following the red text, not what other people have interpreted, but doing our best to interpret the red text and live as Christ-like lives as possible. And so I just wanted to share that story with you. Also, there is a new restaurant over by this area, and somehow the owner of the restaurant saw me hugging him, and she said how she, well, as I was walking back to my car, she said, "Is that family, this and that?" And I told her the story. And she said how she was moved by that moment. And so when we are shining our light in the world in certain moments, and keep in mind, I did not end up serving the other homeless people that were there. That moment was for me and for him. It was for me and for him. And I gave him all of my love and attention in that moment. But she also saw that moment, and it did something for her as well. And this is what happens when we are shining our light in a natural way, in the way that we move, live, and have our being in God and in this life. And so I just wanted to share that with you, because I see a stark distinction between Paul's teaching and what Yeshua taught. And we are seeking to be Christ-like, not Paul-like. And so this is an encouragement for all of you to deepen your studies in terms of reading the Gospels and all the red text for yourself, and also reading Paul's writings and comparing them and see what you actually see in that study. All right. How many of you are committed to doing that? How many of you are committed to doing that work? I know the Bible is thick, and I know the Bible is thick. And if I had to encourage you in terms of a sequence to read the Bible, I'd probably start with Genesis. Then I would go through the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then I would go into Paul because Paul is what the modern day church has been built off of. And I think that those books alone will be so revealing. I encourage you to read the entire thing from cover to cover at some point. But if I was to encourage you to start anywhere, it would be with those books. And I'm sure that you're going to come to some awarenesses that you were not aware of, things that are not taught on Sunday. Um, and you're going to come to some revelations of what it actually means to live a Christ-like life. Okay? Beautiful. Beautiful. If we have any newcomers, we want to welcome you. Can you type new in chat? Can you type new in chat if you are new to this family? Type new in chat if you're new to this family. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, hold up, hold up. Welcome, Shaquana. Welcome, Trisha. Welcome, Latazia. Welcome, Yasmin, Wayne, Stephanie, Mika. Oh, my girl, our girl Adrian is here. I haven't seen, Andre. What's going on, Andre? Long time, long time. Carmen, Maria, welcome to the family. Shawanda, Crystal, Nicole, Troy. Oh my goodness. We are growing, we are growing, we are growing. We welcome you to the family. So happy to have you here. That's absolutely beautiful. Rhonda, what's going on? What's going on? So just a little bit about the spiritual experience really quickly. We want to welcome you all. Who we are, the spiritual experience was created to help the unchurched spiritual folks and Christ-like Christians find fellowship and grow in God. What we are not just a church you go to, we are a spiritual community that honors each individual's unique relationship to God and seeks to help people experience God through study, primarily Bible studies, through community service, and through social spiritual programming. Why we exist, our purpose is to create a safe, nurturing space for spiritual exploration. There's no dogma here whatsoever. There's no rules you have to follow. This is really about your relationship to God and develop without judgment as we seek to become more Christ-like. That is the ultimate goal for us, is to become more Christ-like. And I actually came up with a new motto. I came up with a new motto that I want to share with you. Y'all open to hearing the new motto that I came with, and I want to get your feedback. I want to get your feedback. Y'all want to hear the new motto? You let me know if it resonates. I've been praying on this. I've been praying on this. So you let me know if it resonates. Y'all ready? Our new motto: building the kingdom inside and out, in that order. I think I need to add that on there, in that order. Building the kingdom inside and out, in that order. Y'all like that? It's twofold. In that in that order. We got to make sure that it's in that order. If we do it another way, that's going to be backwards. Okay? Building the kingdom inside and out in that order. Because I've been wrestling as God has called forth my spiritual work more. I've been wrestling with how the work that I do in financial literacy and real estate and things of that nature, how it all fits into the equation. And I see that as building the kingdom on the outside. But the first place that we have to build the kingdom is actually within, because as Luke 17:21 says, the kingdom of God is within you, right? So when we build the kingdom within and we do it in the righteous way, then what happens is it starts to manifest outwardly. And this is how I've been able to create the beautiful life that I have. But I realize that the work is twofold and that there are actually two kingdoms. They're one kingdom in the mind of God, but they're two kind of separate steps. And if we only try to fix the outside, we only try to vote in a new president and this and that, and we try to fix the outside, but we don't fix the inside. As Yeshua said, if we only clean the outside of the cup, right? But we do not clean the inside of the cup, then we are doing it backwards. And so this is what came to me in my prayers as a simple way for us to articulate who we are and what we do on our journey to being Christ-like. I believe that this is what Christ was seeking to do every single day of his life, to build the kingdom inside and out, inside and out. But sometimes, as he said, I will tear down this temple and rebuild it. We know that that temple not only represents the outward world, right? But first and foremost, that temple represents this right here. This is the first temple that we have to tear down, and we have to rebuild our mind. Remember, God does not dwell in temples that are made with the hands of man. So if God does not dwell in temples that are made with the hands of man, where does God dwell? God dwells in this temple right here. And this is the temple that we have to tear down and rebuild. So much of the programming that we have from religion, from school, from media, etc., even our parents, has convoluted what truth is really all about. And some of us get so caught up in tradition over truth. Well, this is how we've always done it. Well, we're trying to get back to the truth because Yeshua said the truth will set you free, right? And so we're seeking to get back to the truth. And so I just wanted to share that with you all as we continue to develop this community together. For those of you who are new, we are only December. Yeah, we're only 2 months old. We started officially December 1st, and we are continuing to evolve. Right now, we are focused on the Sunday Bible studies. First and third Sundays are Christ-like conversations. Second Sundays is wealth in the word. And this fourth Sunday that you are now participating in is our gender studies, where we'll be breaking out into brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. All right. Now, with that, I do want to let you know any ATLians in the building? Any ATLians in the building? Any ATLians in the building? Let me know. All right. All my ATLians that are in the building, I want to let you know that I am coming. I am uh, coming to 4 cities this year that we know of, with more cities to be had, where I'll be helping people get clarity on their God-given purpose, right? Yeshua said, pick up your cross and walk, and my food is to do the will of the one who sent me. And we all have a role in God's will, and one of my roles is actually to help people do that and do that sustainably. And so for my ATLians, I will be doing the Purpose to Paid 1 day live workshop on the 1st, next Saturday. So you can go to purposetopay.com for that, purposetopay.com. I'm going to help you find your passions, the problem that you're here to solve, the people you're meant to serve, your ultimate purpose, and how to profit from that so that you can walk in your God-given purpose without worrying about money. For Houston tickets are available right now. Houston is March 1st. So Houston is about 5 weeks away. And then a month or two after, we'll be headed to Los Angeles and Brooklyn, and we'll be adding some more cities to the tour this year. So make sure that you pull up. If you are in Atlanta and you do not know your God-given purpose, make sure you pull up. In addition to that, for those of you who have been joining us since the beginning of the year, we've also been reading a chapter of the New Testament every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's 260 chapters in the New Testament, and there are 260 weekdays in the year. And so if you want to join us on that journey, then you can go to new260.com. That's new260.com, and join us on that journey as we study the New Testament together. Okay. All right. So I wanted to share those things. And so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking out into our gender studies. On the fourth Sundays, we actually do brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. I will be leading the brothers here in this Zoom room, brothers in the Bible, for brothers in the Bible. And we're going to be studying Proverbs 31. Last month we studied Proverbs 1, and that was really powerful. The reason we're pulling from Proverbs is because Proverbs is where Solomon, the wisest man, one of the wisest men to ever walk the face of the earth, was sharing all of his wisdom with his son. And so we started with chapter 1, and now we're going into Proverbs 31, which is the last chapter. And ladies, this is really important for all the ladies. Ladies, y'all listening? Ladies, y'all listening? Listen very carefully. Listen very carefully, ladies. Proverbs 31 woman didn't come up until after Solomon's son went through Proverbs 1 through 30. So a man is actually seeking wife or a woman at the end of his growth and development. Not saying that that should be delayed until he's 40, 50, etc., but there's a reason why his search for a woman doesn't come until he's mastered himself. This is why Proverbs 31 is the last chapter of Proverbs, not the first. Now, I know some of you are fixers. I've been a fixer in my past too. And you see his potential and you want to fix him up. No, it has to be a self directed journey. It has to be a self directed journey. Now, once you see him have momentum where he is the driving force and he is the catalyst and he is the impulse, then you might be able to step in, right? But a man of God is not actually supposed to seek wife until he's actually achieved some degree or level of mastery of self. This is why the Proverbs 31 woman is at the end. And this is his mother speaking to him now at the end of his personal development program. Are y'all with me? So I'm over here working on the men. I got to get more men here. This is part of the reason I do Bible on the Beltline. We had an amazing Bible on the Beltline last Sunday in Atlanta. We hope to have those all over the country. Of course, they can't be called Bible on the Beltline in other cities, right? But we hope to have those because I know that it's important that this community has balance. I'm fully aware that the women outnumber the men in this space right now, and the kingdom needs balance. The kingdom needs balance. There was not one Adam and three Eves. There was a one Adam and one Eve. And so we need more balance here. And so I do some extra work to facilitate. I do some extra work to facilitate the growth and development of the men in our community. Men tend to worship God in different ways than women do. And right now, the church is leaning heavily on how women worship God. And based on what we've experienced at Bible on the Beltline, we know that men like to connect, to dialogue, to be in circular environments, not hierarchical environments where they can have a voice and where we can actually study and ask difficult questions and debate and things of that nature. That's what I've found is the best pathway for men. So that is a heavier lift because it's not one to many in the way that the churches are now organized. And so this is what we are working on as a community. And so just trust that we are doing the work on both fronts. All right. So with that, all the ladies, you are going to head over to the spiritualexperience.com/sisters. In fact, let me bring up Whitney real quick. Whitney, you there? Let me bring up
Yeah,
Whitney. So
you can hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
beautiful.
hold on.
Oh,
Is your camera? Let me stop sharing. Is your camera on? Where are
yes.
you? Where are you? Hold on. Let me try to find you real quick so I can bring you up. Participants. Add to spotlight. All right. There we go. There she is.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah. What's good?
Yes, we
You ready
here.
for
The
this?
ladies are here.
The ladies are in the building. All right.
Yes.
So, ladies, you want to give them an intro in terms of what you are covering today?
Yeah, hey everybody. I see us. We are here. I'm super excited about the Bible study today because we are going to be studying Eve. If you haven't been to Sisters in the Scriptures yet, it's a very open Bible study, and we really study the women in the Bible because there's over 200 plus women in the Bible and another 40 women that don't even have names, but we really study their characteristics. We study a lot of things about them, that we study the biblical principles that we can apply to our earthly life. So I'm super excited for today's study. This woman, I've been ready to study her for a long time. So this is one that I believe that we're going to learn a lot of things that they tell us about Eve, we're going to learn the opposite of what Eve really is and was, right? So I'm grateful for today. I'm excited to get into it. And definitely make sure you show up on the fourth Sundays, or we actually have Bible study every Sunday at 5:05 p.m. as well. And we're on a mission to study these women. We've studied together about 70 women so far. So we're on a roll, and it's just they have so many great characteristics that we can learn and apply today. So I'm excited.
All right, so ladies, normally we as gentlemen would be the ones to leave and go to another room, but since this is my Zoom account, brothers, we gonna stay here. Ladies, we gonna hop over to Whitney's Zoom room, and so you're gonna go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters, thespiritualexperience.com/sisters with an S, and she will let you in from the waiting room. Brothers, you are all going to stay here, and I will see you all later. All right. All right, cool. Peace, y'all. Ladies, y'all go. Brothers, stay right here. All right. Ladies exiting stage left. We about to go from hundreds to to a handful. It's all right. It's all right. Cool. Man, technical difficulty set us back a little bit this morning, but we are in the building and it's all is working. So
Hey,
ladies,
Julian, can you hear
yes,
me?
yes. Who's that?
Sorry, I'm gonna leave, but a couple of brothers are saying that they can't get in. Some people from YouTube, some people from Instagram.
Yeah, that now that the room has been split, it should open up. The Zoom meeting has a 100 cap. Zoom
Okay,
meeting has a 100 cap, but now that the rooms have been split, we should be good to go.
okay.
Yeah, thank you
Y'all
so
have
much.
fun.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Can I have the link to the women's room?
Yeah, I just posted it in chat again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. We good to go. Everybody on their way. All right. So ladies, go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters with an S. Brothers, come to thespiritualexperience.com/Zoom. And we are about to get started. Let's see. See, I only have. All right. So Angie, head over to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. Angie, Ariam, head over to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. Kareen, head over there as well. The link is in chat. Catherine, head over there. Shawanda, head over there. Dee Dee, head over there. Michelle, head over there. Nikki, head over there. I should only have brothers left in here. Tanya, head over there. All right, y'all good? All right. All right. I think we are good. Let me go through these participants because brothers, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. So we gotta make sure ladies is out. All right. All right. Tanya, head over there. Michelle, head over to thespiritualexperience.com/sister. Shawanda, head over. Kareen, head over. And Angie, head over. Okay. Cool. YouTube, Instagram. The links are pinned for you. The links are pinned for you. All right. Cool. If you just joined us, we have broken out into brothers in the Bible, sisters in the scriptures. So ladies, please go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters, and brothers, stay right here. Brothers, stay right here. All right, brothers, what's going on? How y'all feeling? And brothers, if you see a woman come on in, just message her and let her know. Jarika, go ahead and click the link, thespiritualexperience.com/sisters, and head over there to that room with the ladies. Okay. All right, brothers, how y'all feeling, man? Oh, we got a good group. We didn't lose everybody. We didn't lose everybody. In fact, I'm going to
Strong, let's
cut
get
off.
it.
Yeah, we about to get it. And Sammy, I'm gonna need your help because we did this at the Bible on the Beltline, so I'm gonna need your help and guidance today. All
Got
right.
it.
Uh, Instagram, I'm gonna cut off because brothers, we about to go into an intimate conversation. We talking about y'all a little bit. So I'm gonna cut you off on Instagram. Ladies on Instagram, go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters, and brothers go to thespiritualexperience.com/Zoom. All right. All right. All right, here we go. So Instagram. Bye everybody on Instagram. Peace. All right. That's done there. All right, cool. YouTube, they are off. I'm gonna end YouTube because we are about to have intimate conversations. So I'm gonna end YouTube so we all have privacy. Stop a live stream there. All right. And so, fellas, I may have to make that announcement a couple of times because people are still coming on in. So forgive me if I have to say that a couple of times. This is just the nature of where we're at with this week and how this week operates. Okay. So, fellas, what's good? What's good? What's good? Happy to have you. Excited for today's exercise and this work that we're about to do. We are actually going to be studying Proverbs 31 today. We're going to be studying Proverbs 31, and this is really around what it means to what qualities we look for in a woman. You hear about this Proverbs 31 woman over and over and over again, and there's a reason. For those of you who came in late, there's a reason why this comes at the end of Proverbs, because Proverbs is really about King Solomon giving the wisdom to his son about life, giving him life game, right? In terms of looking out for evil, friendships, money, leadership, pride, all these things, right? But you'll notice that Proverbs 31, his mother comes in, and now she's saying, now that you've gone through this master class from your father, now you need to know what it looks like to have divine union, what qualities you look for in a woman. So the sequence is intentional. But some of us on our journey, myself included, we're looking for those things, for looking for a woman prior to any degree of self-mastery, right? And so we are changing that sequence, and we are also going to uncover what the qualities are of a Proverbs 31 woman. So we're going to read it together. We're going to listen carefully to the qualities of a wife. Okay. We're going to write them down and add any additional ones. And then we are going to go do a group exercise, which is going to be really, really powerful. It's a framework that I created that will help you make better decisions in terms of choosing a wife and choosing a partner for those of you who are single. And also it will help those of you who are already in committed relationships figure out how to strengthen and uplift and empower and build up your significant other. Okay. So let me see. For those of you who come in late, for those of you who have come in late, if you're a lady, please go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters and join the ladies. This room is for brothers only right now. We are in Brothers in the Bible here, and the ladies are over in a separate Zoom room for Sisters in the Scriptures. All right. So with that, I see a couple people on camera. So I would love Paul and Atar. I have 3, 4, 5 pages. So I'm gonna start off with Paul and Atar, and then Kefren, then I for Profit, and then if Wayne can read after that, that would be great. So go ahead, Paul, if you could kick us off, brother.
Proverbs 31. The words of the king Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. Proverbs 2. What is my son? What my son? And what the son of the womb? What the son of my womb? And what the son of my vows? Proverbs 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. For it is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. Proverbs 5. Lest thy drink and forget the law and prevent the judgment of any of the afflicted. 6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be heavy of hearts.
Thank you, brother. Next up.
All right. How everybody doing?
What's good, brother?
All right. Proverbs 31:7. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. 8. Open thy mouth for the dumb and the cause of all, such as are appointed to destruction. 9. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
All right, fellas. Fellas, as we keep on reading, now we are listening, because this is our first question. We're listening for the qualities of a Proverbs 31 woman, the qualities of a woman of God. Okay, so we're listening for those as the readers read. All right, continue, please. Thank you.
11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. 13. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. If there's any ladies in the room, please go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters and join the sisters at Sisters in the Scriptures right now. This room is only for men as we speak. Thank you. Go ahead. Who's next?
She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion of her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it with the fruits of her hands. She planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yeah, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy.
Beautiful. Next. Who's next?
Would that be Wayne for Proverbs? Where we at?
21
21. Okay, I'll continue with 21. 21. How far you want me to go down?
to 25. It's on the screen.
Okay. Sorry about y'all. I'm at work.
Good. All good, brother. I thought you were
Okay.
moving.
Yeah. She is not afraid of snow for her household. For all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine, linen, and purple. Her husband is known at the gates when he sits amongst the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchant. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. And
You're
lastly,
welcome.
we got one more person. If not, I'll take us home. Okay, I'll close this out. Verse 26. She openeth her mouth. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of the kindness. She looks well to the way of her household, and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praise her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise in her the gates.
Beautiful.
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 All right.
All right.
So, real quick. All right. So if there's any ladies in the room, please go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters and join all the ladies. This room right now is only for the men who are in brothers in the Bible. So again, if there's any women in the room, please head over to the spiritual experience /sisters. All right. So brothers, in chat, please let me know your type number one. Let's do one question at a time. In chat, just so we know who's in the room, please type your current relationship status. My current relationship status is in a committed relationship. in a committed relationship. So there's dating, engaged, in a committed relationship, married, divorced recently. So I see single, engaged, single, married, in committed relationship. For my single brothers, put single and dating or single and not dating. Marriage, committed relationship, new relationship, recently married. Single and not dating, married, recently single, engaged 15 years. Single and not dating, single, single, not dating. Beautiful. Okay. Now, listen to this question very carefully. What is your biggest relationship issue within yourself? Not your partner, not the market, not them. What is the biggest relationship issue inside yourself? Biggest relationship issue inside yourself. Okay, not trusting enough. Dependency, confidence, communication. Good. Doing everything. Boredom. That's a good one. Lust and trust. Thinking. Compatibility. For me, mine is not fully expressing my emotions or how I feel about things. And always yeah, not sharing when I'm not happy, but not sharing when I have a need that I don't feel is being met because of my archetype of what a man is, like, kind of just sucking it up. Anger management, good. Understanding how to be a better husband, communication, commitment, lust. The women's group is here. Okay, communication. These are good, brothers. Thank you for your honesty. All right, now, given your status right now, what is your next relationship milestone? Your next relationship milestone or goal? So even if you've been married for 15 years, what is your next focus on the relationship? Staying faithful. Yep. Mine and right now is integration with my current partner. More integration. Right now our lives are separate, but we do things together. But now it's really more integration, paying off debt, marriage, spiritual and intellectual connection, beautiful, getting engaged, get genuine intimacy without sexual intercourse. That's a good one. Becoming better and stronger man of God to lead my family, staying faithful, stay married, not holding things in us as men are taught to do. Good. Oneness and vision. I love that, Alex. Communication. All right, beautiful. So we know who's in the room now, and so now we have some work to do, okay? So I created this framework, actually based on the readings. Now back to the readings, okay? Back to the readings. What qualities did you notice of the Proverbs 31 woman? What qualities did you notice in her? What qualities did you notice? God-fearing. What else? What qualities did you notice? Go ahead and type them in chat. Nurturing, not vain, commitment, devoted to her husband. She was good to her man and never evil. Never evil to her man. Nurturing, vain, vision, preparedness, vision, preparedness, hardworking. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Considerate. What else? Skilled, took care of home and all inside of it. Beautiful. Anything else? A waymaker. Love that. A waymaker. Wise with resources or resourceful. Resourceful. Wise spiritually. Okay. Anything else? Active listener. All right. Now, what was she not? Because this is going to eliminate, for those of you who are single and dating, this is going to, she was not, is going to eliminate a lot of these women out your life real quick. She was not lazy. She was not full of vanity. She was not a passenger princess. Oops. She was not impulsive. She was not materialistic. Anything else? What was she not? Foolish with words. Foolish with words. Disrespectful. Foolish. Not overbearing. She wasn't all, oh, she was not all up under her husband all of the time. Not selfish. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So I want to introduce you to a framework that I developed based on the reading of this multiple times. And we're going to go through the process of evaluating for the men who are dating, a woman that you dated recently, a woman that you've dated recently, a woman that you are dating, a woman you're engaged to, evaluating your wife. Uh, so we're going to go through this process. Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, ladies, go ahead. If you are joining us late, go to the spiritualexperience.com/sisters. That is where the ladies are convening right now. This room is only for brothers. Okay. So here's the framework, family. These are the qualities of a wife. So within your head, the first quality is she hot? Is she hot to you? Period. That's it. When you look at her, are you attracted or are you not? All right. Then we go into within herself. Is she healed? Actually, I'm changing this to healing because the process of healing never ends really. So do you notice that she's healing? Is she holy? And notice these are yes or no questions, right? No in between. Is she helpful? Is she healthy? Is she happy? Is she humble? Is she helpful? Excuse me. Within the home, is she helpful? Is she harmonious? Is she a homemaker? And within the habitat at large, is she hardworking? All right. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through a process where we try to uncover, and this we need wisdom from those who are happily married. Okay. And we need just a collective mind to fill in these qualities, right? So, for example, hot. There's no questions to ask. Either you're attracted to her or not, right? And then, but here, physically, we can ask, what do you look for? And so I need you to get paper. I need you to get paper because some of these things are going to be different for you. Okay, so type ready when you have paper. Type ready when you are ready and have paper. All right. Fellas, we're about to literally give you the blueprint to not make a mistake when it comes to the biggest choice of your life. For those of you who are new to the game, and for those who are married, we need your wisdom, but we're also going to reveal something in terms of who you're already partnered to. Okay? All right. So physically, fellas, let me know in chat. What are some of the things that you actually look for physically? And just be honest. Be honest. And that's going to be different for every man. So we're skipping this one right here and we're going here. What are signs you look for that tell you that she's hot to you? Don't be shy. If you are a lady, please go over to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. This room is for men only. Okay? So good. Robert said good proportions. Good proportions. I never heard it like that. Fit. A little thick. I'm gonna put a little thick. Boy, you gotta have something to grab onto, right? Confidence with no makeup. Confidence without makeup. Man, this whole thing, oh, she got beat. Like, they call putting on them thick layers of makeup getting beat. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Veronica, please go over to uh thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. Clean, clean, smile. Yes. Smile, smell, um, clean. How many brothers actually hate makeup? All natural. I don't like it, family. I don't know who told them that. I don't know who told them that it's cute, but then they say that they do it for them, but I I'd rather no or very minimal. Okay? All right? Anything else physically? Y'all trying to be cute. Y'all like T and A. Stop lying. Why y'all out here fronting? It's just us. It's just us. Y'all like TNA, yes or no? Hmm? Yes or no? All right. Why y'all out here fronting? Why y'all out here fronting? Um, good. All right. We good here? Anything else you look for? Shapely. Y'all using all kinds of shapely, this and that. All right. I think we all got similar taste here. We all got similar taste. That's interesting. All right. So now these are gonna get harder. These are gonna get harder, okay? So, um, healing. What are questions to ask them to see if they are healing? Questions to ask them to see if they are healing. Are you or have you been to therapy? Good one. How is your relationship with your parents? Great. How do you handle your traumatic triggers? And even what are your triggers? What are your triggers? Do you even know? All right. I have asked you researched what you truly believe. Have you researched what you truly believe? Great. Any others? One more? How can we tell a woman is on her healing journey? Who have you had to forgive? What is your forgiveness process? Is this helpful, fellas? Is this game right here? Is this game? All right. Now, these are signs to look for with our eyes through observation. Observation. So we're not asking her a question. What are signs that we look for to see if she's healing? Triggers, tones, and reactions. Okay. Triggers, triggers, tones, reactions. Um, oh yeah. If she talks about her healing journey. If she talks about her healing journey. What else are we looking for with our eyes, family? This is you not asking a question. What are we looking for with our eyes? Um, outrageous, good. Outrageous colors in her hair. How scantily she dresses. I don't know, scantily. Yeah. Scantily she dresses. Like the search for attention. How she relates to others and relates to and communicates to others. Relates to and communicates to others. All right. What she posts on social media. What she posts on social media. Bars. Helen, I know you just joined us. Please go over to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters to join the ladies. This room is for men only. How she delivers advice. How she delivers advice. Okay. We good? We got a lot of work to do, so let's keep it pushing. All right. What questions are we going to ask to get at her degree of holiness? Hey, I'm just going to say it because y'all don't want to say it. What's your body count? What's your body count? Y'all don't want to say it. I mean, yeah, am I the only one who's going to be real today? Huh? Now, you might ask that in a different way, right? Okay, so I'm going to put that over here. Eye for profit. I'm going to put who she follows on social media, music she listens to. That's going to be observation. Music she listens to, okay? What's your prayer life like? That's a good one. What is your prayer life like? All right. She's gonna lie about that. All right. What else are we gonna ask? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? What is your God concept? What does righteousness mean to you? Anything else, fellas? All right. Now, what do we look for? Signs of her holiness. Another one is what church do you go to? Now, you don't always have to go to church. What church do you go to? Okay, what else are we looking for? Are you saved? Are you saved? Are you willing to study together? Okay. Okay, what are we looking for in terms of signs, family? Who she follows on social media, music she listens to. That's a good one. I'm gonna put that on here. What do you do for fun? Okay. Do you see her reading the Bible, meditating, who her friends are, Yep. Daily rituals. Friend group, and prayer. All right. Cool. Moving forward. What questions do we ask about her health? What questions do we ask about her health? What's your daily routine? And what do you like to cook? Do you exercise? How often? Um, how often? Uh, what do you typically eat? Do you have any health conditions? Can I see your STD test? Do you detox or fast? Do you detox or fast? Do you smoke or drink? If so, how much? Do you eat fast food? Okay, good. So we're also going to be able to look for some of those things. Eating fast food, eating fried food. What else? We're talking about healthy. If she exercises or just work, how many of you know the ones that exercise, wear exercise clothes, but don't exercise? How many of you know of those? Her medicine cabinet. Um, yep. Weight gain since being with you. Exercise. Does she look at ingredients of food? Does she ever choose salad instead of fries? Does she ever choose salad over fries? Her pantry, um, signs of depression, um, uh, favorite health book. So pantry and fridge. Okay, that's gonna give us a lot of what we need to know. Okay, good. Why did it change to frog fridge? All right. How do we ask if she's happy? Happy. What brings you joy? What brings you joy? Does what made you smile today? I'm gonna put over here gratitude journal, smile. Um, how do you do when you're stressed? Um, how do you do when you're stressed? How's life been for you? How has life been for you this month? I think I got them all. Okay. What are we gonna name a few things that you're grateful for? Yep. Name a few things you're grateful for this week. Okay. So we're gonna listen for always complaining, Always complaining. If she ever says thank you, oh my goodness. How many of you men value thank you over I love you? How many of you feel like for me, I thank you is more important to me than I love you. I love you is a romantic, emotional stuff. Thank you just means that you see and appreciate how I'm showing up. That's my thank you is my love language. Thank you is my love language. All right. Cool. Does she look for external things of happiness, right? Um, seeking seeking happiness in external things, clothes, cars, purses, cars, purses. Um, what's her relationship like with her father? Where should I put that? Should I put that under healing? I think we have relationship with your parents, especially father. I'll put especially father here. Okay. All right. What else are we looking for in terms of happiness? Does she laugh? Does she laugh heartily when about being not including about other people? Okay. We good here, fellas? So we're looking for her attitude. Um, I'm actually going, where do we put reading? Well, we have reading the Bible. Where should we put reading? We'll figure that out. Her bookshelf. Where should that be? Um, actually, I'm gonna put that here. A bookshelf. If she's willing to learn, willingness to learn. All right. So humble. How do we ask about humility? Is she slow to anger, so to speak? Yes. Um, so we're gonna observe. We're gonna ask that. We're gonna ask that directly, Sammy, or we're going to and Sammy, you can come off mic, um, unmute. We're gonna ask that directly, or are we gonna observe it indirectly?
So for me, when I met my fiance, that was a question that I actually asked. Like I just randomly just asked it one day we was out to dinner. I was like, "Are you more, slow to anger and slow to speak?" And
So,
she was like, "I fall on the ground. I don't." She's like, "I don't fight. I don't argue. I just fall to the floor if somebody raised their voice at me, any of that stuff." So I was like, okay. And then I got to
mhm,
see it in real time. So then I observe it. Like when we have
got you.
our hard times, she really don't argue for real. She'll shut down or disassociate, and that's pretty much how
Mhm.
she deals with that. But that's more of a healing thing than anything.
Yeah. So that's actually good. So you asked it, and they can answer with a beautiful answer, just like in an interview. You can have a beautiful answer, but then he observed whether her behavior was actually in alignment with her answer. Did y'all catch that? Because anybody can answer your questions in the quote unquote right way, or the way that they think is right. But then we have to actually observe whether what they say is actually in alignment with how they actually do, because they may not see themselves. All right.
And another word of advice for you fellas when y'all dating, especially for you ones that's dating, don't give the woman your playbook. Meaning, don't upfront tell the woman all the things that you're looking for, giving her the whole insight on, oh yeah, this is what I like, this is what I'm in, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, because you're gonna find that a lot of women will literally try to fit themselves into that because they love the idea of loving you, but they don't really move in that way. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta be very careful with that because when you get them that playbook, man, you got some women that play that role up until then, and then all hell breaks loose when y'all get in certain situations. So be mindful of
Beautiful.
that, like for real. And this coming from a brother that was married twice.
Yep. Beautiful. All right. So any other questions to ask me about humility? What are your views on submission? What are your views on submission? Do you volunteer? All right. Now, what are we looking for in terms of humility, family? So we have willingness to learn. So we might see her bookshelf. What other things, signs show us if she's humble or not? If there's any ladies in here, Sammy, can you put in the link for the ladies? If there's any ladies in the room. Yes, willingness to listen and take advice. Willingness to listen and take advice. Take advice. All right. Compassion for others. Good. I think gratitude also goes here. How and when she hands out compliments. Beautiful. How and when she hands out compliments. Thomas, where do you want me to put that? Ever been in an abusive relationship? Is that up here?
Front yard.
Is that for healing?
Yeah, I think that's probably healing. It just popped in my mind. So I just while it was on my mind, I just put it out there.
Been in abusive relationship. Now, the abusive relationship doesn't disqualify them from your love, family, but it is something to be
Right.
aware of. Okay, it doesn't disqualify them because they didn't choose to be there unless they
Correct.
kept going back, right? So just be mindful of that. All right. So let's go to harmonious. This is her conversation, her ears, her mouth, her heart. So we know tone of voice goes here. Tone of voice, cursing, cursing. Good question. Good question, Sammy. How do you respond to difficult moments? Okay. How do you perceive conflict? What is your conflict resolution process? What else? Harmonious. Is respect conditional for you? Is respect?
Touch it in the front yard.
Why is my doing that? Do not disturb zone. Is respect conditional? Do you talk loud? So we're gonna observe that. That's probably hard to ask. Do you uh loud talk in public? Okay. Anything else? How do we observe if she's harmonious, y'all? How she works on teams? Is she argumentative? Are we gonna ask that, M. Ruddick, or are we gonna observe? We're gonna ask that directly, or we're gonna observe? Okay. So argumentative. Um I'm gonna put that cleanliness. I'm gonna put that down here, Sammy. Cleanliness of, I know you I know you want it in both places. Cleanliness of her home, closet, and car. Okay. Time frame for practical solutions when conflicts. Okay. Observe time frame for practical solutions after a conflict. After a conflict. After a conflict. Okay. Is she willing to do for you? What do you mean by Atar? Come off mute real quick and explain that.
Yeah, I mean, like, is she willing to, buy you something, or, take you out to eat or something?
Got it. Ask her that, or we were observing it.
Observe it.
Okay. Is she giving and willing to do for you?
Yeah.
Giving, willing to do for you. Beautiful. All right, Thomas, what do you mean how she acts around her family? Come off mute.
Like sometimes you can observe, they'll be around, act a certain way around you when you're one-on-one and put on that good front, but then when you get around the family or vice versa, put on that front and then you can see right through it.
Okay,
So
beautiful.
you like that 24/7 or you get around certain people and act a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Does she listen to or understand or just, oh, good, good, good. Um, I'm gonna ask that directly. Do you listen to understand or just to respond? That's an observation and I think a direct question. All right, helpful. Helpful. What are the questions we can ask? Married man, we need some advice here. Helpful. Ooh, that's a bar. Do you prefer to be served, to serve or be served? Or be served. That's a bar. Mhm. Helpful. I think I think volunteering goes here. Like, some of these people, some of these women out here, you don't see them serve anyone but themselves and maybe their kids. There's no other degree of service in their spirit. And you got to be very, I don't care how beautiful she is. You got to, I look for service in some other capacity. When to be a lady or a woman? Alvin, come off mute and explain that to us. When to be a lady or a woman?
Yes. It's just like when the question is reversed, um, a man what's the difference between a man and a gentleman? Well, what's the difference between a woman and a lady? Now, a lady conducts herself in a characteristic way of being gentle, kind, and considerate of other people. But when women, they tend to be aggressive at times and outspoken and speak their mind in certain situations. So um, when you're looking at a woman, when can she be that lady in regards to being out in public or with you as opposed to being a woman? So you might have the woman, she uh starts disrespecting you in the street. I'm just using it as an analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Walk away from you when you're having a conversation. Now it's just you and her having a conversation, and she's upset. She dislikes what you're saying. So if she was to be a lady, she would just sit there and observe and listen to what you have to say. But the woman would be boisterous. Oh, I don't have to do that. I ain't got to do this. I don't have to do that. Yeah, that.
Got you. Got you. Okay, I got you. So uh how she responds, how she responds to your needs. Here's a question. What do you think based on what you know, what do you think I need? Based on what you know, what do you think I need? Because what I found is that a true woman is actually able to preemptively see your needs without you having to mention them and state them.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a man and a gentleman?
Between a man and a gentleman,
Yes.
a gentleman for me is actually seeking the title of gentleman and is just doing all of the things that he's been programmed to do and considered etiquette. A man is gonna fill the gap. A gentleman does it for outward things to be considered, oh, I'm a gentleman, right? It's a more outward thing. A man doesn't really care about the outward and just is gonna fill the gap and get it done.
Okay, that's one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Because that man could be aggressive too. I mean, to a certain extent, where he's in the street, and he disrespects the woman. But that gentleman wouldn't do that. The gentleman would take his hat off when he enters the house. The gentleman would hold the door even if the woman was not even considered, you know.
So yeah, it's okay that we have different definitions. So for
Oh
me, a
yeah,
gentleman
yeah,
is a
yeah.
nice guy and a man is a good guy. Like I think we were taught that nice guy and good guy are two of the same things, and nice guys get stepped on. This is why they finish last because they are nice is really acquiescing to the ways of the world and trying not to step on anybody's toes. But a good man, you might have to actually step on somebody's toes and hold your ground and stand on business. So I have uh, I used to think a nice guy and a good guy were the same thing, but I don't actually believe that anymore.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah. And it's okay. We have different definitions of what a man is, and that's what this space is for. So what else can we yeah, Jason Wilson is great at breaking that down. Um any other things we can ask in terms of her health, or are we just observing? Man, if she folds your clothes, bro. If she folds your clothes. All right. Anything else? This is the biggest one. I think this is probably one of the biggest ones. We got to go a little bit deeper here, fellas, before we move on. Tell me a time when your helpfulness was transformative versus transactional. Dang. Tell me a time when your helpfulness was transformative versus transactional. That's beautiful. All right. All right. We're going to have to come back to that. All right. Homemaker. Homemaker. Come on. Everybody say it. Let's see if we all say the same thing. Go ahead. Type it. Let's see if we all say the same thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you cook? All right. Now, in Caribbean culture, the men can cook better than the women. So I believe that you should do what you're best at. But and many Caribbean homes, my dad can cook better than my stepmom. Mhm. All right. Uh, how do you feel about household duties? Household duties. What do you think are a woman's duties? How many children do you want or have? Okay. So we're gonna look at the cleanliness of her home, her closet, her car. What else are we observing? If she's a homemaker. Oh, um, does she help her family at Thanksgiving or just waits on a plate? Or just waits on a plate? Are the kids ashy? Come on, Sammy. Are the kids ashy? Hey, it's a little are yo. I'm gonna put are yo kids ashy? Homemaker, anything else? Cook?
A real spill on this
Yeah,
part. The reason why I
yeah,
said that, because if you out dating and you with a woman that has children, pay
yes,
attention to how she presents herself versus how her children are put together.
yes.
I
I'm
learned a
okay.
lot about that. I learned a lot.
Difference, the difference between how her kids are kept, because she gonna keep you less than her kids, family.
Bingo.
Ultimately gonna keep you less than her kids. Her kids are gonna be more important to her than you. So if she keeps her kids in a certain way, she's likely gonna keep you less than that. So the difference between how her kids are kept versus herself will give you a lot of information. Oh, good one. Eye for profit. He got an eye for interior design. Is there some kind of design etiquette? Do you feel good in her space when you visit? Okay. Hardworking. We're almost there, fellas. Hardworking. What questions and what do we look for? Do you want to be a stay-at-home? Well, that's not the right question. Because stay-at-home mom is work. What's the question? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Good question, Z-Bell. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So does she have goals, right? How long have you been working in that job? What do you do with your time? What would you do with your time if money wasn't an issue? What professional orgs are you a part of? Cool. What do we observe from hardworking? What do we observe? How do we know with our eyes that she's hardworking? If she is busy, and we got to schedule stuff. What else? What else? Her go-getter mentality. Yep, her calendar. Is she self-motivated? Ran a marathon. Ran a marathon. Do you make your own money or need a man to take care of you? All right. And what projects and goals she speaks about? Yeah, progress on her projects and goals. All right, beautiful. So, fellas, now that you have this, what will happen is you will score who it is that you're currently dating, who you are thinking about dating. And husbands, I don't want you to score your wife because if she finds it and she doesn't have a perfect score, you're gonna be in trouble. All right. So don't write these answers down in any physical place. All right. All my married men, do this in your head. All right. Do this in your head. Okay. Now, we're going to watch this from Miles Monroe because we got some work to do too, fellas. It's not just about her. All right. Let me turn this up.
God will never give a male a finished woman. This is very important now. The woman that you are looking for, the one in your head, does not exist. That's why you can't find the perfect woman. She only exists in your mind. God will only give you the raw material. He said, I want you to cultivate her and make her into the woman in your mind. So your job is to develop and to refine and to train and to educate and to improve the woman in your life. That means the longer a woman stays with you, the better she should become. If you are ashamed of your wife, you should be ashamed of yours.
Woo! Uh-oh. Can I get 3 brothers' reactions to that video? Anybody unmute? You agree with Dr. Miles?
Can you play it back, please?
Huh?
You mind playing it back one more time?
One more again? Y'all gotta hear it again? All right, one more again.
God will never give a male a finished woman. This is very important now. The woman that you are looking for, the one in your head, does not exist. That's why you can't find the perfect woman. She only exists in your mind. God will only give you the raw material. He said, I want you to cultivate her and make her into the woman in your mind. So your job is to develop and to refine and to train and to educate and to improve the woman in your life. That means the longer a woman stays with you, the better she should become. If you are ashamed of your wife, you should be ashamed of yours.
All right. Let me get the reactions. What's up?
So you already know where I stand on this, Julian, from our Bible study. Because
Yeah.
when we dove into Proverbs 31, at the end of the day, it started with the man. And as you already stated, chapters 1 through 30, in the beginning of 31, is literally about us. And so for me, when I heard Miles Monroe say this, man, and I've been heavy on Miles Monroe lately, rest his soul. But I have been going through this thing now where I told you, me and my fiance, we separated ourselves. So we want to do everything God's way, the right way. So we're literally starting over from scratch. And for me, I told her, I said, you ain't got to worry about nothing. I'll be back. I just got to go to husband school with God real quick. So I'm really starting all the way over, removing all the negative experiences that I've had. And she knows that everything that I bring to her is going to be life filling. That's it. So that's just the truth. Like, we have to lift our women up.
Yep. Any other feedback? Any other responses? Did he just drop the mic on us or what? Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Pat.
Sorry about that. I don't know, I was having mute problems. But how y'all doing? Yeah, like Miles Monroe was actually very, very, very pivotal for me in how I selected my wife. Because I remember when I was like, I think 12, 13, first book I ever picked up from him was The Pursuit of Purpose. And in that book, there's a quote on chapter 1 that says, "Until purpose is discovered, existence has no meaning, for purpose is a source of fulfillment." So there was an analogy he gave a while back about like knowing the like iPhone, knowing the the
Manufacturer.
manu right, the manufacturer and everything like that, and knowing how things work. And it was just very, very prevalent to me that if I'm connected directly to God in that way, then I have to know how these things work. Not just, I'm not saying my wife know, I have to know how my wife works, but I have to know how to get her to the place that she wants to be in her purpose. For example, this week she just completed a 6-week fitness challenge and she joined in the gym. But when we talked about it, she was like, I'm not happy with my fitness, how will I look, and things like that. So it was just like, this is a great, great reminder of, yeah, you got work to do, man. You're always gonna have work to do, and don't be tired about it. Be actually happy that you're in a position to do the work.
Yeah, 100%. So, I don't have a romantic definition of love. My definition of love is the point at which you are willing to study this person to know them in the way that they know themselves, or even better than they know themselves. Because that's the only way you can really meet their needs. So you actually know you're in love, not based on how you feel, but when there is an innate desire in you to study this individual so that you can serve them at the highest level. That for me is how I think about love today. Like, I have to have a master's degree or even a doctorate in my partner. And the thing is that they're not a static being. So I have to observe how she's moving every single day. Say, oh, that changed. And she might not even be aware of the change, but I'm aware of the change because I'm studying her in order to serve her. To me, that's the act of love, is to the degree that you are ready to study this individual so that you can serve them. Any other thoughts? All right. So now here's our work, family. Here's our work. Our work is signs that we are these things. Okay? Signs that we are these things. What are the signs that you are actually hot? You want a hot woman. What are the signs that you are actually hot? Do you have a gut? You want a woman with no gut, but do you have a gut? You want a woman that exercises. Do you exercise? What are the signs that you are actually healing? What are the signs that you are holy? What are the signs that you are happy? And they may be similar to the signs you look for in a woman. You may be able to copy the column that we just did here over for yourself, but for you, it might look different. What are the signs that you are humble? Do you have a mentor? Do you sit at anyone's feet? Or you just got it all figured out? Do you read? What are the signs that you are harmonious? What are the signs that you are helpful? And then for man, what are the signs that you are handy? You want her to be a homemaker. Well, what are the signs that you are handy? And what are the signs that you are hardworking? And so that's going to be your homework since we're already at 1 o'clock. But what I want you to do right now, I need you to score yourself. Each of these is worth 10. I need you to score yourself right now on how hot you think you are, how healing or healed you think you are, scale of 1 to 10, how holy you think you are, how healthy you think you are. I need you to come up with a score right now. And then I need you to put it in chat. All right, I see a 81. I see a 70. No, Robert, just copy. Robert, we're just gonna do middle column for right now. The rest is gonna be homework, but just middle column, just top of mind. I know sometimes we're scared to evaluate ourselves. That's okay. We have some honest answers. We have ranges from 89 to 58 right now. People are being really honest about where they sit on this. I only see 5 brothers so far. I need to see at least 20. See 77, 60. I appreciate all of your honesty. 78. So we got a C plus average right now, fellas. We got a C plus average right now. 76, 45. At least 5 more. Come on, brothers. Don't skip this step. It's an opportunity to see yourself. 65, 85. All right. So, brothers, okay, whatever number you put in the tens place, I want you to add that on to your score. So if you put 72, like I for profit, add another 7 to your score. I know automatically, just because you were a man, you were hard on yourself. I know because you were a man, you were hard on yourself. But I'm asking you to take whatever's in the tens place, the first number, and I'm asking you to add that number onto your score. Because I already know how hard we are on ourselves as men. Right? So I for profit, you 79. Rich, you 77. Atar, you 93. Bonnie, you 71. M. Ruddick, you are 82. James, you are 49. Thomas, you are 83. Okay? Does that make sense, fellas? So your homework between now and our next meeting, which is a month from now, right? 4 Sundays for Brothers in the Bible, is to fill out this column, signs that you are these things, and how you must grow in this area. How you must grow in this area. Not and We are not expecting perfection. Yeshua commanded us to be perfect like our Father, right? But we are not expecting perfection. We just say, okay, how must I grow in this area? I actually need help in this area. I'm low in this area. Or I am a 9 in this area, but what would I need to be a 10, right? Where is the gap? And so that is everybody's homework. So actually, let's let's do it together really quickly. All right? I want you to pick your lowest score, and then I want you to answer the question, how must I grow in this area? I want you to pick your lowest score, and then in chat, then we'll close out with a few people sharing verbally on unmute how you intend to grow in that area. Okay? Pick your lowest score, and I want you to think about how you're going to grow in that area. I'll start out. So, I'm skinny, but don't let skinny fool you. I still got my sweet tooth, and I still got a thing for chocolate chip cookies and French fries. Right. Um, I'm relatively healthy. I primarily eat pescatarian and fruit, and smoothies. But right now, I don't have a physical activity. I love playing golf, but golf doesn't really cause me to sweat. So I'm gonna grow in that area by doing hit trainings at least 4 times a week, starting in February. I do goal stacking, so I only add on one new goal a month. But I'm gonna start doing hit trainings, 20 to 30 minute hit trainings in the morning, 4 days a week, to improve my health, just to make sure that I break a sweat. I don't have any body goals. Like I'm not trying to look like anybody. I'm not trying to bench a certain amount. I'm not trying to run a mile in a certain amount of time. I just want to sweat every single day, keep my body moving without putting major stress on my ligaments. So just pretty much body weight type stuff. So health is, I'm not bad in health. I'm like a 7 in health, but I know there's room for improvement by adding more movement into my daily routine and rituals. And so that is mine. So go ahead.
Um, humble and healing, like I should say humble and holy, because I join your something happened to me. I join your Bible studies every day out the week and also on Sundays, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting closer to God. But then something happened where somebody did something to me, and I was quick to react. Like, how do I take out the revenge? Like you got it. Like that's hard for me. Like when somebody do something to me, how do I be like, all right, it's cool. Like you got it, and without wanting to do something back or without revenge. Like that's something I want to work on, and that's been hard. I've been studying even studying yourself the proverb. Like I'm trying to change, but that part is just like that's the last part I feel like I gotta work on is revenge. Like when somebody do something to me, like just be able to say like you got it. Like that's something I
Yeah.
really want. Like that's a
But
straight zero for me.
yeah, that's a beautiful one, brother. And I just one of Yeshua's greatest gifts was forgiveness. Forgive us our sins as we forgive. We actually have the power to forgive sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And when negative things happen to us, the only thing that stops that ripple from going on forever is forgiveness. And even Yeshua says, if you have a gift and you're trying to bring it to the altar, but you have unforgiveness between you and another brother, go actually handle it for forgiveness first, and then come bring your gift. So forgiveness is really, really important in the gospel and in terms of Yeshua's message. And so the area of work is actually for you to list every person you think that has slighted you, from your parents to old friend to a teacher, to this person recently, and go through the process of understanding that they are just a human being, that it's probably not personal, that it had nothing to do with you. It's just where they are at in their own journey, and go through the process of forgiving them. And some of them may be harder than the others, but forgiveness is really, it helps them, but it's mostly for you. It helps them, but it's mostly for you. Because whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. So whatever you don't forgive, right, here in the earthly realm, it'll be unforgiven in the heavenly realm. So if you, that's what that scripture really means. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose in heaven, whatever you forgive within yourself, it will be loose on earth. So you have work to do around forgiveness, and that's perhaps one of the greatest skill sets that we can develop as human beings. But it's an emotional intelligence skill set. It's not a tangible physical skill. It's an emotional skill set, but it's going to free you. It's going to free you because even with you showing up to new 260 every single day, this one thing threw you off. You know what I'm saying? So it is having a worse effect on you than they're probably not even thinking about you. They're probably not even dwelling on this moment the way that you are. So we see that the unforgiveness is actually binding you, not them. So that's the work, brother. And I'm glad you were aware of it. I'm glad you were aware of it. And forgiveness is something that we are all working on. Thank you for sharing. Two
Thank
more
you.
before we close out. Two more before we close out.
I got you.
Yeah.
For me, it was happy. So my score was a 6 on that one. And that was primarily because I drew most of my happiness from external things, like what I can do for the people I love. And I realized that I had placed family, relationships, and all these other things, on a pedestal. They were idols to me in my life. And when things were rocky or when things were shaken, so was my happiness. And so for me, my focus has been to uh, one, first and foremost, every morning now I wake up with an attitude of gratitude. So I wiggle my fingers, I wiggle my toes, and I say gratitude. And I begin my prayers with gratitude. So that's one way that I've known that I was going to be working on growing in that area. And other ways, just how I show up. Um, I've always been known as the serious person, always got a straight face, always been serious, intimidated, but I'd be chilling. But it's like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with showing that you happy. You know what I'm saying? And it's because, street stuff, whatever, you get told that that's soft and this and that. I had one of my elders, man, he was like, bro, you got a nice smile. You should smile more. And ever since then, it's like, man, like I do got a nice smile, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I smile more and it's like showing that happiness. So that's been one of my biggest things that I've been working on this year is increasing my happiness and keeping that attitude of gratitude and focusing on how I show up in this world and not always looking so just, you know.
I love that. I love that, man. This little light of mine.
We learned it as a kid. We learned that song as a kid, man.
Yeah.
We
And
let
the
the
beautiful
world
thing about a
harden us.
candle, yeah, the beautiful thing about a candle and even a smile is a candle can light 1,000 other candles without losing its light. And a smile can do the exact same thing. A yawn does it. We know if I start yawning right now, y'all gonna start. A smile does the same exact thing. So that's the beautiful thing about these things that are contagious. But I think when we have this perception that the world is just so dark, then we got to be dark in order to navigate that dark world. And the only thing that allows you to navigate darkness successfully is light, family. Light is the only thing that allows you to navigate dark successfully. All right, two more, and let's close out in prayer. Two more.
I got a question, Julie.
Yes, Aitor, what's up?
Is we going to get a copy of that sheet for us to fill out, or?
I'll put it back up for you to take a screenshot. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up so you can take a screenshot.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we just go or?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead for profit. Go ahead.
So my actual name is Vincent. I just always put my Instagram on, and my YouTube. But for me, it was humble was what I gave myself the lowest score. But I also had like a few fives in other areas. And I want to say one thing that stands out to me a lot is I tend to talk more than I listen, when I'm having conversations. And I actually really struggle with that, like I'm always constantly wanting to give information more than I'm wanting to receive. And also just feeling like maybe, realizing like um I don't think about other people too much. I think about myself more than anything. And so I honestly I really don't know like what I could do to counteract that, like, like actual things I could do. But
Mm.
yeah, so if you have any suggestions, that would be cool.
Yeah. So, what I'd like you to try, brother, is when you feel compelled to give, just be silent and just hold space for that person and watch the magic that actually unfolds when you just hold space for them and you stop just trying to give information, but you just hold space. Sometimes they don't need more information. They just need a space held for them. And watch the wisdom that emerges through the Holy Spirit when you do that. It'll be richer than anything that you could have said from your own conscious mind. So I want you to
Okay.
try that. And then your information giving is not a bad thing. But if if you stop learning, which means learning requires you to listen to other people, then you're going
Mm-hmm.
to run out of information to give.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually have to get back in a space of learning in order to give, or else you will be capped based on what you know right now. What gives you the capacity to give at such a high level is because you are sourcing from. So you're listening, learning, and then be able to share that. So see it as a baton passing.
Yeah,
You know,
that really is what it is, 'cause like I work from home and I'm usually learning, like, learning and listening to like, people like yourself and stuff. And I don't actually talk to people that much. So then when I do talk to people, it's like,
understood,
yeah.
understood. But but so you are listening. If you're learning, you are listening. So I
Yeah.
want you to acknowledge that.
But I mean, when I'm talking to actually having a conversation versus like, listening to, a podcast or, an
Understood.
expert, that type of
Understood.
thing. Yeah.
So when you go into those conversations, while you are a giving spirit, I also want you to ask, I wonder, go in with curiosity. I wonder what this person has to give to me in this moment. I know
Mm,
I have something to give to them, but I wonder what they have to give to me. Because
right.
what that could be ego, you seeing yourself as better than them, and therefore you need to pour into them and give them everything. But even if it's a stranger sitting next to you on a bus, I wonder why this person is sitting next to me right now. What could they give to me? Not from a selfish standpoint, but that they may be here for me just as much as I'm here for them. And if you go into every conversation with that awareness, I think you'll find a more reciprocal exchange happening.
Okay. And one more thing, because maybe I don't know if I'm like how hard I'm judging myself on that, but I actually never considered myself like arrogant until like other people would criticize me, like, you think you better than everybody type of stuff. Like that type of criticism, and it came in a workplace that in hindsight, I felt like I actually never really should have been working in this type of place, like a retail, like a Walgreens. And I'm like, maybe it's because the people that I was around seen me trying so hard that I made them feel like I was thinking I was, even though I was just doing me. But that was something that had kind of damaged me that I need to heal from, was having being put in a position where now I'm trying to make people feel like I'm trying to lessen myself because of how other people feel about me.
Mm. So people get this concept of humility misunderstood. They think it's about having a low sense of self-worth. Based on how I see Yeshua, Yeshua is saying, no, you know who you are as Vincent. I know that I'm a divine being, I'm a child of God. But humility is knowing how powerful I am and coming down to lift other people up. That's humility. Humility is not having a low sense of self worth so that you can feel, so that you can make other people feel comfortable. Humility is taking the gifts that you've been given and using them to empower other people. You said it in your own language, right? That you know you didn't belong there. So if you know that internally, what's that going to project outwardly? You knew it before you even got to the job. So what is that going to project? If you know you didn't belong there, you felt it was beneath you. So if you felt the job was beneath you, then what do you feel about everybody who's at that job? Whether you stated it or not, what do you feel?
That they're also beneath me.
Exactly. But here's the reality. They were not beneath you because you were at the same job. They were not. You were where you were. We did our last teaching on what is God's will. Here I am. I'm right here. My choices, my circumstances, everything has put me here. So I'm exactly, how can I be exactly where these people are, but think I'm above them? So while you might have never arrogantly said, I'm better than these people, you did say I don't think I belong here. You thought you were higher than you actually were.
That was in hindsight though, too. So I don't know if that makes a difference. It wasn't like in the moment. It was more like after reflecting on it,
Understood.
and thinking about those experiences that I felt like, you know, like kind of like how I said that because I was trying to work hard and get promoted, move up and stuff, and people were just kind of looking at me like, who do you think you are? And lashing out at me type of,
Yeah, well,
how things
your
work
light is going to cause some
nowadays.
people to feel uncomfortable. It's
Right.
going to cause people who want to stay at a lower level of light or even in darkness. It's going to cause them to be uncomfortable.
Right.
That's just the natural. If you look at Yeshua's journey, that's exactly what happened. I am the light of the world, but he also said, You are the light of the world." So here we are in this world that has a lot of darkness. I believe that the darkness and the light are equal. This is because if you look at day and night, they're equal, right? But what gets magnified is the darkness. And so your darkness, your light is going to actually stir up some people. And that's just part of this journey. And you have to ask yourself, am I going to dim my light in order to make them feel comfortable? Or I'm going to continue to shine my light in order to inspire? And that's a choice that you have to make.
Do you think it's makes any difference though with it being like a thought in hindsight to think that I was better than those people in any kind of way, or if it's different looking at it from a backwards perspective and actually finally noticing that I was thinking that everybody was like me, but a lot of people were comfortable where they were and I was making them feel uncomfortable, and that's what was causing a random like superior to me to just gossip about me, tell people. She would tell people like just talk about me basically, and like, oh, she don't like me type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. I was real young at the time. I was maybe 20 or something like that. That kind of stuff was affecting me a certain way because I never really dealt with people just like just deciding to not like you, and I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
uh, yeah.
I'm, I can hear the hurt and the fact that how old are you now?
36.
36. So that happened literally over 15 years ago, and it's still affecting you today. And it's probably shaping how you show up, and it's probably shaping in the way that you don't want to shine your light at its true maximum capacity. And
Yeah.
I understand that. My question to you is, do you feel better than any human being right now?
Do I feel better than any human being right now?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I understand the question. Like, is it a trick question, or do I feel better than any?
You feel like you're better than other people?
Oh, okay, okay.
Do you feel,
Yeah,
and you do?
yeah. I feel
Okay. Do you
like
feel, go ahead.
but I don't know if I'm thinking of it in a negative way, but to myself, I feel um like in a way I'm gonna say yes and no. Like, yes and no. To myself, yeah, but like in the grand scheme of things, I know we're all the same, but um I guess maybe I should um work on that, I guess. Yeah.
Because my follow-up question to you, and thank you for your honesty. My follow-up question to you is, do you think God sees any of us as better than the others? How do you think God sees all of us?
I don't understand how God thinks or sees us, so I feel like I can't give you a
That's
good
okay.
answer on that one.
Understood.
I don't know if you've seen my comments, but last week I was telling you like I'm really lost on the whole concept of God. Like my concept of God is I don't have a concrete like I don't feel like God is like I have a problem with all the way like I feel like in the Bible there's a lot of personification of God, and it's hard for me to know if like if I feel like those are accurate descriptions and like put in like human like traits on like the supreme creator and I don't know if that doesn't make sense to me. So
Yeah.
I don't understand God at all.
That's good. Eh, That's that's humility right there. It's sitting in that, and that's okay. And the fact that you don't understand and that you've admitted that, guess what that's going to lead you to?
I mean, I've been trying to understand for a long time now. I at one point in my life was almost an atheist because I refused to just go along with the idea and feeling like it wasn't genuine, like I wasn't gonna pretend to be a believer. And I told myself if I am gonna be a believer, it's gonna be genuine. It's not gonna be fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So what I'm hearing in you, Vincent, with these spiritual concepts is his thoughts are not our thoughts and they are above our thoughts. And you were trying to understand God through the logical mind and the conscious mind. And it's okay, brother. You're trying to understand God through the logical mind. But as Yeshua told Peter, flesh and blood did not reveal these things to you. You cannot understand God through the limited mind. Your mind is big and it is powerful, but the way you process information and the way that you are left brain, it is hard to access God through just the left brain. This is why Yeshua, from an allegorical standpoint, says cast your net to the right side. Your net is your neural network. The right side is where the creator or the creativity dwells in you. And that's a completely different way of understanding and thinking. And so this is your invitation to begin that journey. And you've already started the journey because you said, I don't get God. I want to, but I don't get it. Just knowing that you will not get there through the left brain and through the logical information based way that you have of looking at the world. That
Yeah.
is the flesh and blood trying to reveal it to you. Only Holy Spirit can truly help us as little gods understand something that is greater than us. The only way is through divine revelation.
I received that because you know what scripture I was mad at for so long?
Which one?
Lean not to your own understanding. I'm like, well, what the hell am I
Me too.
supposed to do then?
Me too. But hopefully you understand. It's our understanding from a logical, earthly mind. We cannot grasp God. It is. This is one of the. It's this one of the hardest things in the world is for something infinite to create something limited, and that limited thing, which is us as human beings, trying to grasp what that infinite thing is. It's almost impossible unless it comes through divine revelation. So that's what it means. It doesn't mean don't ask questions. That's how the church will use it, right? It'll
Mhm.
use it to quell your curiosity. But no, it's saying that if you try to use human methods to understand me, you will always fall short.
Right. Yep. And I'm still lost on all those parables of Jesus and you know, the kingdom of heaven, trying to figure that whole thing out. I'm like, I don't get it.
But yeah, because he spoke in parables. Why? Because the couldn't tell you directly because you will be trying to understand it with your logical mind. That's why he
Right.
uses parables and metaphors. so that you
Right.
access a different side of your brain than you're accustomed to using. Otherwise, he would have just been straightforward and said, it's this, and this. But no, he's trying to access a different part of the way that you think to understand these concepts. And the beautiful thing about parables is that people can access them at different levels based on their degree of understanding. So you have your left brain and your logical way of thinking, and even these information files that are behind you, that is what has gotten you thus far. But there's a limit to how that way of thinking can get you. There's a limit to how far that way of thinking can get you. And so you're being invited to cross over to the other side of the Red Sea and actually explore God based on faith of a limited being created by an infinite being trying to understand that infinite being. And that's why it can only come through divine revelation. It's not going to come through the logic that has helped you understand all this information that you're sharing with people. That's all logic. That's all worldly. That's all earthly. That's all conscious. The super conscious, the God mind has to reveal it to your subconscious. It's not going to be flesh and blood that reveals it to you.
Right. I get that. I get that. That
So
makes a
you're
lot of
not
sense.
lost. You're not lost. I want you to change your language. You're not lost. You are seeking. Lost is when you think you figured it out and you're completely wrong. You are seeking. You being here, you are seeking. There's a difference between seeking and being lost. Now, if you give up right now, then you can consider yourself lost. But I don't see you giving up.
Appreciate that. I do have a lot more to say, but I don't want to take up all the time. So
Yeah. So time is irrelevant.
I
The
was
brother,
I was
hold
gonna
on, hold on, hold
say,
on. Hold on, bro. Time is irrelevant.
mm-hmm.
You see, not one brother has left since you started speaking. If they are busy, they will leave. But the fact that they're still here, one, they are all holding space for you right now with me. And they are all benefiting from this conversation that we're having. You aren't wasting anybody's time at this moment. Now, we
Okay.
can't go on for 3 hours, but every brother is leaning in right now. So go ahead, and if I
My
see a
my
brother with
last
open,
thought that I
yeah,
want to
go ahead.
share was I do a weekly Bible study with some of my family members, and one thing that had came up that I want to share was I was sharing with them. It's like when you see stuff in the Bible that conflicts you, like in your spirit, right? Like how you want to lean in on what the red letter, right, versus Paul, right? I really resonated with that because I was saying, I was thinking like, okay, what should you trust more? Like if you feel like you hear God speaking directly to you through the spirit or whatever versus what you see in the Bible. Like which should you put more um weight on? What you feel like God is telling you or what you see in the Bible?
What's your answer?
I felt like you should definitely go directly to source over what man has written in the Bible.
I'm in alignment with you. Not everybody is in alignment with us. But guess what? Scripture says it is done unto us as we believe, not as what somebody else thinks for us. It is done unto us as we believe. And so if we choose to follow what we hear from source directly, usually what source says is not going to be out of alignment too far with what the text says. The reality is that some people haven't read the entire text, so they don't know what's in alignment with the text and what's not.
And that's I'm still in that place too. And a lot of times I'll tell people, hey, I haven't read the whole Bible yet. So maybe, what I think now will change from, later. So
Yeah, but this comes down to a core belief whether you think the Bible is all of God's word. You think God just stopped speaking?
no, that don't even make sense to me.
Correct. So if your minister says, God gave me a word to tell y'all this Sunday, then what does that mean? It means God is still speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what about all the illiterate people in the world? You think God talks to them or no?
Of course he does.
Right.
That goes to the concept of, do you think you're better than other people or not? Like, you think God only talks to you, or do you think he talks to everybody?
God is God is like the internet, trying to get access to all of us, but the question is, are we plugged in? God is trying to speak to us at all times. It wants us to fulfill its will. But the question is, how much noise do we have around us? How much distracted are we from that still small voice that's in us? God is not going to force itself on us, but that still small voice is always going to be in there. And this is why we are called to go in silence. You see Yeshua go off to the Garden of Gethsemane. You see Yeshua go off to the Mountain of Olives. You see Yeshua go off to solitude. Why? Because that's where it's freaking quiet.
Right.
Quiet there. But you go to these churches and you have these Sunday Super Bowl concerts, and it's a whole bunch of noise and instruments. How you might be able to feel God through a song, but you can't hear God.
And where does that even come from? Because ain't none of that
It
stuff
comes
in
from
the
David.
Bible. As
It
far
comes
as
from
I've read,
it comes from David. David
David.
worshiped through a lot of song. David worshiped through a lot of song, but Yeshua did not worship in that way.
Okay.
It comes
Yeah.
from David. So it's an overemphasis on David. And I believe I don't think it's wrong. I just think there has to be a healthy balance.
But not just the song, like every church has like the same structure of like how they go through a gathering. You're gonna do the announcements, we're gonna praise and worship,
Not
then we're
every
gonna
church.
collect the tithe.
Not every church. There's
Okay.
churches there's churches where people just get up and they just tell stories of how God showed up in their life.
Okay. Well, for me, I live in Los Angeles, and we have
Yeah.
more,
There's a
we
big
have
range.
probably, we have a lot of churches around here.
I know.
And the culture has been pretty consistent as far as my experience.
Yeah. I agree with you. I lived in Los Angeles for quite some time too. I know it's church on every corner in the hood.
Right. I
I
almost said we got more churches than liquor stores, but I was like, wait, let me not.
it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I went down, what was it, Western or Crenshaw or Western, and I counted one day and I was just like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Um, yeah,
2 and 3 in the same block.
yeah, understood. So the purpose of us coming together in the spiritual experience is to identify what it truly means to be Christ-like. We're trying to go back to Christ's message. We put Christ's message above anybody else's, and we're trying to get back to what the true message is. And um, based on my study thus far, I believe that the churches today are far off from what Christ intended. But I'm not trying to project my thoughts on anybody else. My encouragement is for all of you just to study and see what you see and then make your life choices accordingly. So that's why I bring us together. This space is never to convert and to condemn. This is not what this space is about. It's about us all going through this spiritual exploration. And I think what unifies us is that we all want to be as Christ-like as possible. That's what unites us. No dogma. You got to do this 3 days a week. No, we don't have none of that here. We just come to study together. And I know even Yeshua says, "How do you interpret it?" Even Yeshua in his own language knows that people interpreted the Old Testament differently from one another. And so I'm aware that there's going to be many different interpretations as we go through this journey together, and I'm okay with that. In most spiritual spaces, if you disagree with the quote unquote leader, then you're banned and this and that. That's not here. Terrence would like to
Appreciate the time.
yeah, we appreciate Vincent, we appreciate you, brother. Because guess what? This journey that you're on and the struggles that you're having, you know how many brothers here are having those same exact questions? So we appreciate you, brother. And my biggest prayer for you is to access to one of my mentors put it this way. He said, we try to intellectualize the spirit when the reality is we're supposed to spiritualize the intellect. We try to intellectualize the spirit, but we're actually here to spiritualize the intellect. So the way that you succeeded in the world through the left brain and your logic and your information, that is not how you access the divine. And that's going to be your greatest opportunity for growth.
Thank you for that.
Indeed. Appreciate you, brother. Terrence, come close us out, brother.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
What's up, Chief?
thank you for this time. Something that I've been sitting with is, I'm in a new city now. I have a new job in Boston. I'm grateful for this new position. I'm able to be creative. But things are a bit more separate than that. And what I mean is the score I know I have lowest in is happiness. And last year, my grandmother passed away. She was the matriarch in the family. And there was a lot of chaos that was unfolding in her last year, and especially after she passed. And to be honest, my family is uh, pretty splintered. And in my immediate family in particular, has always been splintered, as my parents have always been separated. And I have boundaries with family members, but I think about, am I continuing some of the patterns and what I call a generational curse with men in my family, where there's a mindset of um, do it yourself, don't ask me for nothing, don't call me for advice, I did it, why can't you? Where it's like a lack, there's no real sense of dialogue. And really I got the comparison from my experience in internships, and I'm a first generation student going to college, where I actually started to have some of those fatherly relationships with like my mentors at Nike. Some of the best relationships I've made, as far as having just like an older male figure just give a shit, and care to tell me about career choices and whatnot. And I think I've set it down because I didn't know how I was feeling about it. And I wasn't managing it well. It was taking me out of the present moment. But it stuck to me how, like I said, I have two younger brothers and one older sister. And my oldest sister, like I said, we're all pretty distant from each other emotionally, right? We don't stay in touch. And when I reached out to my little brother, he didn't respond. And I responded with just like, all right, I'm not going to manage this. And I thought, well, damn, am I am I just am I metabolizing this situation? Am I just keeping it going? How can I better behave, or how can what can I change to know that I'm not just upholding this brokenness? So, and it's funny because, like I said, I'm grateful to be in this new role I'm in. I can be very creative in this new role. And I'm in a new city where it's really just, I don't have any, but these things are still lingering. So I'm carrying these things in my emotional environment. I'm managing these things. To some extent, I am sensitive about what's in my garden and what I'm managing. But this is something that's growing, and something that I would like to think about is for the family members who lashed out at me when the time my grandmother was passing. I've I've made peace to let them know that I don't hold any ill will. There's nothing to forgive, but that I set a boundary where I don't want to be. I don't trust being vulnerable and sharing with people whose interpretations are so counter to my point of views, and not in a way that's useful to bounce ideas off of. Um, and I've been going inward for some time, even before I could articulate it, especially when I was a struggling student at Parsons, man. I was in New York, I was a fashion design major, man, and there are times I had to sleep in the library, crash on friends' couches, be hungry, but still turn in my project on time. And in those times, man, I would call on my grandma from time to time, still being aware of like how much stress I might be putting on her with what I'm telling her about my day-to-day life. So I didn't want to share too much, but she was a safe space for me. And but I've been going inward for a long time, and it really has it's really revealed my spirit.
Yeah.
But now I'm just thinking like I have this space that I've cultivated, and I know my brothers can benefit from this. And I have sympathy for them because I know the household we all came up in. I don't know how to be there for them.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I have a good word for you. One of the best ways that we can honor people who have transitioned in our lives is to choose a characteristic that we loved about them and admired about them and embody it and embrace it and integrate it into our lives. So when Yeshua was saying, eat this bread in my body, he wasn't talking about cannibalism. He was saying, embody my teachings, embody my way of being. And the drink, the wine, was saying, take my teachings and immerse my teachings in love and go forth. So my question to you, the way you honor your grandmother, you called her the matriarch. That is what you admired about her. She was a safe space for you. And there are people in your family who need safe spaces. And so you get to be your grandmother for them. So instead of asking what would Jesus do, or what I like to ask, what would Christ do, you get to ask, what would my grandmother do? You called her from your friend's couch or Parsons, and guess what? You can still call on her now. Embody, yeah, you do. So your grandmother would not shut down. She would not cut off love. She didn't do that for you. And so to honor her, if we're talking about breaking generational curses, that was one way that she helped you be the first in the family to go to college and have these kind of opportunities. Therefore, you have to stay open. Your heart has to stay open. Your heart has to stay compassionate and understanding of where the people in your family are, because there is at least one member of your family that you are also supposed to help break free. At the very least one, and maybe more. But if you close off, which your grandmother wouldn't do, then that person may stay in the generational curse that you were seeking to break.
Julian, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Because Terrence, your story, it literally snatched my heart because I know it all too well. I'm going to just leave you with this. When Peter asks how many times do we got to forgive his brother who sinned against him, he said 7 times. Jesus told him no. 70 times times 7. Meaning however many times it takes. Like, this has been placed upon you. You referenced your granny. That was my connection with my grandmother as well. And as we watch our families unfold and they fall together, I've accepted my role as being the glue to my family and keeping everybody together because I rally the troops. That is what you're supposed to do. So God blessed you in ways to where he put you in positions to remove you from that circumstance. And he placed it upon you to be free in a way to where, okay, you can focus on developing yourself and building yourself up as a man. Absolutely. But you also have that responsibility to reach back down to those who are in your circle of influence. They may not answer right now, and that's okay. But that don't mean you stop. It may be difficult right now, and that's okay. But that don't mean you stop. Like you don't ever give up on them because they need you more than you think they do. And believe it or not, they see you. Whether you think they're watching you. They see what you're doing. They just have things that they have to get through, and that's where your prayer comes in because you're going to have to intercede for them. You're going to have to step into that gate and pray over them as well. So I already see that that's a calling on your life. I already see how that is hitting your soul right now, and it is affecting your spirit. But guess what? This is a part of your growth, and this is a part of your transformation. So all the best, brother. Peace and love to you and your journey, man. You got this, and God got you.
You got this, bro.
I think my last thought is something that I've learned is that, and this is like a really simple, I don't know if this is a spiritual law, but it's one of those invisible things that I've come into interaction with and I've dealt with it like gravity. And it's like what we can't manage, we don't keep. And that can be like if I'm not managing my money, I'm not saving, I'm always spending it. I'm not managing my job, I'm showing up late, have an attitude with my team or have an attitude with my manager. I'm not going to keep that job. But on the flip side, what we do manage, we keep. And that includes the BS. That includes if I'm managing some kind of unhappiness or some kind of anxiety or some kind of depression, I'm gonna keep it. If I'm managing disrespect, I'm gonna keep that person in my life. If I'm managing living check to check, I'm going to keep that lifestyle. And I got to a point where I thought, I'm managing this and it's difficult because yes, I have this corporate job that's cool, but ultimately I'm managing my time to build my own brand. Not always work in a corporate setting. And when I'm inside the office, outside the office, and I'm in front of my laptop and I'm trying to do my own work, sometimes my mind will be in different places because I'm just managing these other things. And I got to a point where I just let it fall apart. I just let it go because I wasn't, and I just wasn't sure. I didn't have that mental fortitude. I don't know. I didn't have that strength. I didn't have. It was hard to manage this career growth and this brand vision I'm very passionate about, and I have proof of process and proof of concept and samples I'm excited about. To do that while still being affected by those things, like my little brothers didn't reach back out to me, my dad doesn't reach back out, or my auntie had this, like those things are still affecting me, and it was hard for me to manage. It was hard for me to manage. So I guess something I think about now is I have this open heart, and I really don't carry, and I've done a lot to know what I sit with and who's in my house, and I don't carry I don't have the bodily feeling of anxiety, or I don't carry the anger, frustration, and I when I do my morning breaths, I will pray that my siblings and my dad find a clear mind today. But that's just what I can manage at this point. It's hard. It's hard to be more involved than that at this time for me. But that's it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need right now. You're doing what you can. You're doing what you can. You have your own life, and they have their own life, and they have their own journey. And while you may have this ideal of what you want, we aren't in full control over other human beings and how they show up. And so if you can go to sleep at night knowing that you're doing what you can, that's it. Because guess what, Terrence? If it wasn't your dad and your brothers and your grandmother's death, guess what? It would be something else.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, that's
life,
true.
what I'm learning about this life is that heaven on earth isn't just like some perfect state, but that it is the ability to sleep in the hull of the boat in the midst of the storm. Can you hold your peace in the midst of the storm or external circumstances that don't seem favorable? That's what Yeshua demonstrated for us, is the ability to hold your peace regardless of what's happening outside. You can get these problems solved and new problems will show up. There's problems at every level of life. And why do problems exist? They exist to grow and develop us. That's the only spiritual reason I can understand why problems exist. Because if we were in a simulation called heaven and everything was all good all the time, there would be no growth. In fact, we would atrophy if everything was easy and all good all the time. So these problems and this duality of what seems like evil or seems like bad, we can call them problems from a negative lens, but they're really challenges to cause us to grow. Because guess what? There is a version of Terrence that is able to have this tumultuous relationship with his brothers and with his family and a thriving career and still hold his peace. That version of Terrence exists. And it doesn't exist based on whether or not his father and his brother and his grandma change or that his grandmother come back. It's not based on the external. It's based on his internal state of being. That version of you exists, and that's what's being called forth. And I'm going to be honest with you. You want to know why it's being called forth? Because there's a challenge ahead in your life that is even greater than what you perceive as this challenge right now, that it is preparing you and training you for.
Couple of them. So
Mm.
you
Yeah. Yeah. Amen. I hear you. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. All right. So you're doing what you can. You're doing what you can, brother. And as long as you can go to sleep at night, knowing that you did your best, that's all God asks of you. And when your capacity expands, then your capacity expands and you can figure out how to do more. But right now, if you're at capacity, you're at capacity. You're never given more than that which you can bear.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But if I'm gonna bench press some more, guess what? I have to test out. If I add these 25 pounds onto both sides, I'm gonna strain. I'm gonna strain it first until I'm no longer straining. And then there's another level, and then there's another level, and there's another level. It's a never-ending process. But guess what's happening the whole entire time? You're getting stronger.
Yeah.
But
Okay?
Definitely.
Man, we appreciate you, brother. Somebody want to take us out in prayer? We this has been beautiful. If
well,
somebody moved to take us out in prayer, they can. If not, I will.
Maggie,
Hey, Julian,
Yes, sir.
could you please put the sheet up that we got to fill out for homework?
Yeah, one moment.
Could you,
Yeah, go ahead and take a screenshot of this, fellas. Leave that up for 20 seconds. Screenshot.
thank you.
Yeah. Somebody willing to take us out, or not willing. If spirit is moving you, somebody feel moved based on what they've heard and experienced. Okay, then I will. All right.
yes.
Dear God,
Heavenly Father, this is Alvin Turner.
oh, go ahead, Alvin. Go ahead.
Um, Heavenly Father, thank you for this time in this day that we shared together, opening up this space that we may grow and understand one another. to share with the brothers. I found a scripture that is so impelling to me. Timothy 2:15, show thyself approved. Study, 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 so that even if you find anyone to come to you, you can always be discerning in the word. They can't come to you with any kind of word and anything to say about the word. You already studied the word. You put the word to test. Dear God, this is what we need as men, not just beings in this earth, but as men of the earth, that we may be able to show forth our greatness, our understanding and word, that we be able to share with others and bring them up in your word, Lord. Give us the strength, dear God, that we can deal with the situations in life. It may be challenging at times, and we understand that we go through certain situations, but the situation allows us to be a better person. Not to show that we are better than anyone else, but to allow them to see how better we have become a better person. That's what I strive to be a better person. So that when you see me, you see the light that can walk in darkness. You see the light that can bring about brightness. You see the light that can bring about a smile. You see the light that can bring about an understanding of your word, dear God. Bring us together so that we can understand you better than we can be understood in this world of challenges and situations. Amen.
Man, we're gonna have to set aside 3 hours next month, y'all. This was beautiful. As I design the next brothers in the Bible, I want to create more space for us to have these conversations. The work that we did around defining our divine union and improving our divine partner, it was important, and it actually opened up and created the space for this dialogue. As I curate this next time, I'll think more about how we can get to this conversation sooner, because really, this is really the work. This is really the work. And so I'm grateful for each and every brother who held space and has been here for 3 hours in support of this work and in support of the brothers who needed us to hold space for them today. To the brothers that came on and are in need, and for the brothers who did not come on in a need, which is probably all of us in some sort of way. My prayers go out to you. Thank you, Alvin, for taking us out. Spiritual Experience will be here. Is it 5 Sundays this month? Hold on. We'll be back next week with Christ-like Conversation. In fact, Christ-like Conversation is on forgiveness. And I know that's going to be, we'll be looking at how Christ defines forgiveness. So I think that's going to be extremely valuable for everyone here. And then we'll be back, Brothers in the Bible, fourth Sunday of February. All right. Also, daily Bible study at 8 a.m. at new260.com. That's new260.com. If you just know you need to be back in your word, we're reading a chapter of the New Testament every single day. So that is at new260.com if you want to start your day with us at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, I'll put the chart up one more time, and I'll hold that space for about 30 seconds, then we'll close out. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you brothers. Sammy, thanks for co-piloting with me today. And wish you all a blessed week. All right.
Just take care, man. I'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Yeah, that was good therapy today. Good therapy.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Healing.
Definitely was.
Tremendous blessing. Blessing.
All right, y'all. Much love.
Peace out.